Hey, what's
Yo,
up?
yo, Ryan, what's going on, my G?
Good.
What's good? What's popping, man? Like going in straight away, man. Because like normally it's like it takes like a minute for people to get the audio up and get everything ready, but you're just in,
Nah,
man. I like that.
we here. Nah, we here. What time is it over there?
It's 4:30 in the afternoon right now on our side.
Cool, like 4:30?
Yeah, 4:30. What time is it over there on your end?
11:30 a.m. It's early.
Okay, okay. Well, because I've been speaking with a lot of like American artists as of late.
Mhm.
I think the earliest I've spoken to, well, it was 4:30 on my side, but
Right.
the person I was speaking with, it was 8:30 on their end. And I'm thinking like, yo, how'd you manage to get up so early, man?
Right. Yeah, yeah. Nah, I mean, it's not too early. I'm good. But yeah, that's still good.
Do you know what? Before we start, yeah, you actually have the same name, first name as my actual brother.
For real,
Yeah,
Ryan?
for real, for real. Because when I was getting into the zone of like speaking to you, I was thinking like, shit, am I actually gonna be talking to my brother, knowing that like it's a mad one. Like, you know what I mean? He's British, you're American. Like, okay, okay, I'm trying to get myself in the zone, man. Shit.
Shout out to bro.
Shout out to the bro, man. How you doing anyway, bro? Like, how have you been keeping? Because I know, like, everything's pretty much lifted now, and but I feel like some bits are still shaky. Obviously, with lockdown being the past couple of months, like, how mentally have you been managing to keep up with all of this?
I've been good. I mean, I've been around family. This is the longest I've been around family in like 2 years since I started, 2.5 years. So I'm around like my dog, my parents, like. But as far as like me being a new artist, I think just figuring out, how these virtual shows are looking, how like live touring's looking, like as far as international travel, I got to get out there,
Mm,
see face, like move around. Those things are important to me. But mentally, I've been good. I'm working, like I'm wrapping up a project,
mm.
staying occupied. I think if people are sitting around and not doing anything, that could be a toll on you. So like I'm trying to just keep it moving.
Yeah, because you were mentioning about like the whole virtual live touring and stuff like that. Have you been going to like locations to do like a virtual setup, or like have you been doing other things like very similar?
Yeah, it's just been more like just Zoom calls, with my
Mm,
team trying to figure out because we're all in separate places, like from St. Louis, New York, LA. We're just trying to figure out when and where, like as far as these COVID cases go, what's
mm.
hot, like what's not as hot, like what can we do where we're all safe but still, getting the job done. But yeah, we're paying attention. I'm trying to watch, like I think Roddy Rich did a dope one, Kaylani,
Mm.
um, Chloe and Halle did a dope one. Like, I'm just paying attention, what they're looking like right now.
Because you've been speaking about those two particularly a lot as of late. I've been seeing, especially a few interviews I've seen pop up here and there. Like, have you actually worked with them, like, as in to say there's a like a project set with those guys, or like is that just something on the back burner? Like you're supporting them, they're supporting you. Like,
Yeah.
what's the feeling there?
As far as Drake goes, I've heard things through the grapevine of like my producers that I work with, or people that are close to him that said like he likes my music. But I know
Mm.
I've never been in contact with Drake. But as far as like people like Kaylani, yeah, like me and Kaylani got records. I'm trying to think of anybody else I've been working with. I know I talked to Snow Allegra a lot. I was talking to her recently, trying to, we're just trying to fill things out, put things together. But yeah, I got a lot of like, people that like I'm cool with and like I'm ready to work with and then ready to work with and stuff.
Mm. So something that just came into my mind, like you were 21 back in March, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm 21 now. Yeah, yeah.
And that
Going on
makes
20.
you an Aries.
Yeah, Aries.
Ah, cool, cool, cool. So
Your
obviously,
brother.
sorry.
What's your brother? Is he an Aries?
Uh, do you know what? He's a fire sign just like you, but he's a Sagittarius.
Ah, okay, 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 okay.
Yeah, but I'm kind of like the karma flex, like between all of y'all. I'm a Capricorn.
Okay, dope. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got a lot of Capricorns in my family.
Listen, I got to talk about this very, very briefly, right? Because no one seems to know a lot about Capricorns. We're the most underrated star sign I feel ever, and it's just like every time I come across people and they say to me, "Oh, what star sign are you?" and you say Capricorn, I say, "Oh, you're the first Capricorn I've ever met," and I'm thinking like, "Yo, like, kind of the low key disrespect. Like, no one knows us out here. What's going on?"
Yeah. Nah, I mean Capricorns are like, I don't know. Man, I don't know. I know a bunch of Capricorns, at least in my family, but none of them know each other, and now they know
Okay.
each other now through me. But I don't know. Those are some of my favorite type of people. Like you guys are
Big
real
up.
calm. Yeah, chilling.
I
You know.
appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. So let's take it back then. So to get to know you. So you're born in Chicago
Yeah, yeah,
and you were raised in both St. Louis and Washington D.C.
yeah, exactly.
Right. So when you were born in Chicago, when was that first transition from going from when was it that you moved from Chicago? Did you move to St. Louis or Washington
Yeah,
D.C. first?
I moved to St. Louis from Chicago. I basically say St. Louis because my mom just happened to be in Chicago, and then like she took me back to St. Louis like directly after. Like I wasn't there for some years or whatever. I think I was there for like maybe like a month or two. But like I'm just born in Chicago just because like I got family from there, you know.
Okay. Was it ever like a thing that moving to different places, was it just simply because of where your family was located at the time, or was there like any difficulties in where you were, so that's why you moved? Like what was
No,
that about?
it was just my dad's job. He just had,
Okay.
you know, his jobs have different jobs and like so I always say like I never really had that. I born and raised, grew up here my whole life. I got a one set of friends. I could say that we've known each other since I've always moved around. I know people in different places. I think that's helped with my career, just seeing different environments too.
And what was it for the move to DC? Was that again family, like, people's
Yeah,
jobs?
yeah, yeah. It was my dad's job, so we moved out there, and I moved out there. I want to say like when I was 10, stayed out there all the way until like I was halfway through high school.
Okay.
So like then I moved back to St. Louis. So it's almost like I treat them both the same, but DC has my heart, but St. Louis where my family is, where my blood is, you know.
Gotcha.
So
So
yeah,
St. Louis, is that where you're at now at this current time?
yeah,
Ah, okay, cool, cool, cool. So now we established that that's where you were at,
yeah.
St. Louis, Missouri.
Right.
If I were to go to St. Louis, like what particular places? Because I need to do a lot more traveling. So, what would you advise me to go? Like, pick me as
Yeah,
like a basic tourist.
yeah. I mean, outside of the food spots, in the city, there's a bunch of different food spots. I always say that city gets live at night, you
Mm.
know, but sports is big there. Like we got one of the best baseball teams over here, the St. Louis Cardinals. I know we're getting like, you know, the US is doing the whole Major League Soccer. We're getting a soccer team.
Yeah, I've
So
been
like,
hearing about this. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I think that's getting postponed too because of COVID. So, but even like I want to say like, you know, you have the St. Louis Arts, the
Yeah.
Hughes things. Like it's a bunch of different cool little spots. It's not a big club scene, but like there's a bunch of like hookah lounges, chill spots that like I be hitting and stuff. But it's cool. It's not a big city, but it's still a big city, you know, and it's
Mm.
like it's a lot of people there.
I mean,
But
to
yeah, man.
me, like, America is just a massive, big place to me anyway. Like the closest coming to America was well, not literally the movie, but literally coming to America was like, New York for the day,
Yeah.
and then staying in Canada for a month. So I got how massive more things are, like buildings and spots in general. Like,
Oh, that was the only time you've been was New York?
yes, in terms of America, and it was
That's
it was Buffalo because it was moving from Niagara Falls in Canada and then moving to Buffalo to go to
yeah.
the mall for the day. Like, I would
Okay.
have wanted to go to New York like properly, but we didn't have much time.
Yeah. You got to
Yeah.
come back out, man. But no, New York, there's definitely cities that are fast paced. St. Louis is like if you cut New York down to like a fraction, it's still
Mm,
popular, still a city, but it's like it's slower compared to
yeah.
like, you know, those major cities for sure.
Yeah. And I just saw, didn't I just see like you had a little basketball in your hand, or am I tripping?
Yeah, man, I got like ADD. I be having to have things in my hand when I record. Got the
Well, I
little hoop.
mean, what a beautiful segue, because I was going to talk about basketball, because for you at a young age, you took it. How old were you when you were interested just to play b-ball?
I want to say like 8 years old. I
Mm,
think that's when I started hooping. That's something that like was really taking that took up a big part of my life. Like that's something I enjoy. That was my first love,
mm.
um, music. So yeah, basketball is big.
Yeah, and I'd assume that you being born from Chicago, that is it, MJ, for you being the greatest b-ball player of all time, or am I wrong?
I gotta I gotta give it to LeBron. I know I'm gonna tell you he's
Ah,
one of the
okay.
OGs, but no, Michael Jordan is the GOAT. I think they go hand in hand. Obviously, he has more rings, but LeBron was who I came up on, Kobe and LeBron.
Okay. And speaking of like, b-ball further, but like fashion wise, like I love my trainers. Like, well, we call it trainers over there, over here. You call it sneakers over there. And I
Yeah,
still never get that. It's just like, what you sneaking to, bro? Like,
yeah. Like, we got some weird stuff over here, man. But nah, you mean like as far as like different shoes I wore hooping or just in general?
just in general, because I've looked on your gram, and
Yeah,
you got some shit that I really am liking, bro. So you've had like the purple Air Forces I've seen. I saw
yeah,
like a 101 Air Maxes, which I thought, raw, that's something else. But what really stood out to me was the Atlanta ones.
the Atlanta ones.
I've never
Yeah,
seen it before, because when I first looked at it, I thought like, wait, what is that shape underneath? Like, is G that? Wait, what's going on? I'm confused. So then
yeah.
when I looked at the company that I believe you bought it off,
Right.
like it actually had the Atlanta Braves. Like, how was it? Was it just recent that the trainers came out?
Yeah, no, that's actually a custom pair from them. So like they do a lot.
Okay,
I think they're out of Atlanta and they do pieces like that. My homeboy Walter, shout out Sober Young Walter. He's the guy that actually got me into like clothes and like looking
mm,
at different things. And he was like, man, like you should check out this brand. And like they had the Atlanta ones. And I just thought that was so
okay.
dope. How they played off the
Yeah, they
Chicago.
played off the Chicago ones. What's your favorite sneaker of all time then?
Favorite sneaker of all time have to be, hold on, I got it. I got it right here.
Okay, okay. I'm excited now. I'm excited.
It's the Big Bang, LeBron 9. I remember these
Ooh,
came out when I had to rebuy them. This is a gift. But these came out when I was like probably 12 years old. I didn't have a lot of shoes coming up, but like I used to see kids in school have these and I was so jealous. Like,
oh,
man, when I get
yeah.
money, I'm gonna get this kick. And like it's one of my favorite shoes of all time. It's a LeBron shoe.
We
But
don't we don't have that. We really don't have a lot of those over here. We see like more like Jordans, but LeBrons
yeah,
is very very rare. Like if I come to Flight Club over there, like I'm thinking, yo, you got loads of silhouettes. Over here, we feel like we're so limited in like designs and stuff. Unless you go to like the really top end
yeah.
stores that are kind of like hidden.
Right. No, that when I was in school, when I was in like grade school, that shoe was big. LeBron and KD had like just 4 years back to back with like those shoes that they drop are crazy. And it was
Mad.
on competition over here, like who had the best ones. And like these were crazy when they came out. They glow in the dark. It was like being a kid, it was like the coolest thing. And I finally got them like 2 years ago. I'm way
Mad.
behind.
Crazy, man. So what was the moment like for you? Because obviously, like you play b-ball, you're in school now, and what got you to the point of like transitioning from b-ball to music? Because that's like
Yeah.
a big jump.
Yeah, going into college, I just had different options on whether I wanted to go to the college I was visiting at the time, but the coach that I had expected to be there wasn't going to be there anymore. So it
Mm.
was like, had I either picked that school still or found a different school, but during that summer going into college, I had just, I don't know, I was always just rapping with my friends, and like I had just broke up with my girl I've been with for like 4 years, my
Oh
high
shit.
school.
Okay.
Yeah,
I,
um,
I I reckon a lot of the music here was inspired for that because I heard something, so I think
yeah.
like, yo, that makes all sense, especially with your new single. That makes sense.
Right, right. So exactly, and then I was just kind of like just rapping with my boys, and they were like, "Yo, you should
Mm.
take it seriously. Like, you actually got potential." It was something
Yeah.
I sat on, and then me and my homeboy Alex, he's actually on like the beginning of that Mutual Butterflies song that I have, and like we put together this project called August.
Mm-hmm.
We had put it out. Next thing you know, Bryson heard it. Certain people picked up on it, and then like that kind of threw me into like this lane where like I started to take it serious.
Speaking of Mutual Butterflies, obviously that was your first single like that you put out there. What was your first studio experience before you got to that level of like, okay, I'm ready to release a single?
Right. Well, I started the first songs I recorded was in like late 2016, early 2017, like December, January.
Mm.
That was the first time I ever got in the booth. I asked somebody that I used to hoop with, like, yo, man, like I didn't even know what an engineer was. I was kind of like, yo, I need somebody who can like blend my vocals with the beat. And
Mm.
he's like, man, I know this guy, like his name's Corey. I call him Corey Yeager. It's like my blood brother now.
Nice.
And first time I stepped into the studio, I was 17, and he was just kind of like, "Yo, like you're talented. I'm not gonna charge you. I'm not gonna pay you anything. Let's like, I mean, you don't have to pay me. Let's just figure it out." And I stuck with him.
Sick.
He did the whole project, and he's been my engineer, ever since.
So you kept your buddy from the beginning even till now. Like you still work with him and just are getting
He's
beats and
with me right
productions
now.
done.
He's upstairs, knocked out. He's asleep. But like just because studios are closed right now, like I bring him out, and
Right.
then like we'll work from the crib. Like we got a studio here, and like yeah,
and
produce
of,
together.
and of course, like, the vibe that I get from your music is like, you're classed as like an R&B singer. However,
Yeah,
like when I've got the full scope of your music, I feel like it's more experimental R&B. Would that be
yeah,
fair to say?
yeah. I don't think it's just like strict, R&B
Mm.
music. I can go bar for bar with anybody. I just been in the R&B pocket just because.
Jesus.
Yeah, nah. But no, I feel like I can. Like, I just been in the R&B pocket just because I was just going through relationships, and
Mm.
that's how I tap in when I feel like that or when I'm like simping, down. But no, I could
Mm.
definitely like this, like even the next project I have is like it's a mix of both. It's very balanced.
Mm. And of course you got like a lot of shout outs, Kylie Jenner, DJ
Yeah,
Khaled. Obviously you spoke of Bryson Tiller earlier and LeBron James. With
yeah,
LeBron, was
yeah,
because obviously the connection with, you've been playing basketball and then you led into music. How did
yeah.
LeBron realize about your music? Was it something that he heard and then it came to you?
Yeah, I think that happened through I was asleep, and then my creative director woke me up. He was like, "Yo, you gotta get on your Instagram. Look at your Instagram." And like I saw that it was crazy. I think it was because um I went to Tristan Thompson's house,
Mm.
LeBron's teammate, and I was
Yeah.
there with Boy Wonder, the producer. And I think Wonder like he played it for Tristan. Tristan played it for like LeBron's brother or somebody, and then played it for LeBron. And then I think that's how I got to him. I really don't know the actual story, but I was asleep when I found out, and I was lit. I woke up and I was running around the house. I was like, "Oh, this is crazy."
That's interesting because I would have thought, like, one of the stories that you think of, maybe just to pretend that's the case, is that he heard you, thought it was sick, blah blah
Yeah,
blah. Then he called you and say like, "Oh, do you want to be courtside for my next game or something like that?"
yeah. No, 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 no. It was definitely word of mouth through like Wonder, I think. I'm pretty sure it was Boy Wonder. So shout out him because he knows I'm a big LeBron fan. That was
Done though. And then obviously Bryson Tiller, a lot of people have been speaking to you on him, and he co-signed you in 2018, and you had the track "Nowhere to Run." How did that connection come in the first place? Was it like a studio session, or did you meet him at an event? Like, how did it come?
I was staying with Bryson for like some months at the time. When he lives in Miami, and I was staying down there. Right after I left Miami, I went to LA, and my boy Vinyls had gave me the beat for Nowhere to Run. I
Mm,
had it for like some months, and I finally laid some to it. And him being like the closest artist I know and knew at
mm,
the time, I was just playing him music, and he heard what I had on it. I already had all my parts, and I added the second verse later. He was
mm.
like, "Man, I love this. Like, I got to get on this." We always talked about getting on a record together, and he was like, "It'll just happen. Trust me. Whenever it makes sense, it'll make sense." And that was the one.
And
We went.
he's one of them guys that, there's quite a few artists that don't really expose themselves too much, like, say, on social media. Like, they're just purely about the music, purely
Right.
about just getting content out there, and not really showing their personalities too much, and it's kind of like a mystery thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to you, like, obviously you've had that connection with Bryson, and he's giving you his personality. Do you ever feel any pressure when it comes to like bringing yourself out on social media, and is there certain bits that you're willing to put out, and
Yeah.
do you hold yourself back from it? Like, what do
Yeah.
you feel
No,
there?
I definitely hold myself back. I'm trying to get better at it. I like to keep the mystique just because, like, one of my favorite artists is Frank Ocean. I love
Oh,
The Weeknd. I love people that, like, the most you know about them is the music. But I
exactly,
know,
yeah.
like, yeah, given the time we're in, how like the kids are my age, this new generation coming up, social media is everything. So
Mm.
like it's really been my team telling me like, yo, like you're good. Like you can post, you can do things, like be on social media, and like they've been helping me like be active on there. I'm not a big social media fan, but like
Okay.
I stay on there, and I'm definitely more active, and it helps like more people hear the music.
I was gonna say, because have you had like occasions where you being on social media, like there's been a connection that's taken place for it, or like someone's got
Yeah.
to you saying, "Well, I want to work." Like,
No, of course. Most of the artists that I've met in the industry, or just met that I've been a fan, like the one thing I do is any artist I've been inspired by, I'll hit them and be
Mm,
like, yo, I like this, or I like this. And like they've been responding. Like a lot of people I'm realizing know who I am.
mm.
Like they were just waiting on me to make the connect, vice versa. So yeah, social media is definitely the plug when it
And
comes to like
and
living.
obviously that, with that, obviously the push, you got the new track Rollin. You've also got
Oh,
the
yeah.
merch that you got supporting it as well, and you put that on social media. Firstly, I gotta say, like the video itself, like the girl that's in it,
Yeah.
what I want to know what her IG is
Oh, that's
because
my
she is fire.
Yeah, no, she's beautiful. That's my homegirl, Jonica.
Okay,
Um, yeah, she's dope. Jonica.
yeah.
That was somebody like my manager I recommended. And I was like, yo, she's dope. And we also want someone when we work on these videos that's just cool, you
Mm.
know, real chill throughout the entire shoot. So
I can
uh
see, and I think I can see that the chemistry worked really well with you guys in
yeah,
the video as well.
yeah,
And the vibe that I get from the track is that, if I'm around my friends and I'm hearing this track, I'm kind of like, it's like having a spliff session. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like having the ones where you just chilled, it's
yeah,
relaxed, it's calm, it's nice. Like that's the vibe I get from it.
yeah.
And then also like, with the girl in the video, like things are great. As I get the concept from, but then things start to get a little bit shaky.
Yeah.
Was that the intention when you were making the song?
Yeah, the concept behind the song is just being in a relationship that you know you shouldn't be in, but there's just certain things that you try to trick yourself and telling yourself certain things, only looking at the positives
Mm.
and finding reasons to stay, just to end up rolling back into the same position you were in over and over till it becomes this like endless cycle, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Is that
I've
is
been
it is so,
yeah.
sorry, go on.
No, I was saying I've been through that plenty of times. Like, you know, I've had my fair share of bad relationships. So
Yeah. Was there a particular instance that you was in a bad relationship that you put in a song and thought like, yeah, I need to let people know this shit happened.
yeah, like a month ago.
Oh wow, that so it seems like just material just keeps flowing because of that shit kind of
hmm
coming to the surface a little bit.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
I just hope that like for you that you have a relationship where there's no bad shit from that, like because
Yeah.
you know what I mean,
Nah,
and then that comes into the music as well. Then
right. Of course. No, I think that's just part of it. Finding a good relationship. You got to go through
yeah,
bad ones.
yeah, you got
That's,
to take the goods with the bads, man. So I mean, actually before I get into the last bit, have you been feeling any UK artists on our side of the turf?
yeah, I think Headie One, just dropped with Drizzy.
Oh my
Uh,
god, you literally just that was gonna be my next question. Jesus Christ. Right, here we go. Cause
no,
because I literally just heard it the other day and like how are you feeling in terms of like the whole, Drake collabing with our artists on our side, but also like, Headie One, like, with Only You Freestyle. How are you feeling?
yeah, no, Headie One's fire. We talked about a year. No, we talked like 2 months ago in May,
Oh
and
shit, okay.
yeah, and I didn't know anything about his music, and
Mm.
then I'm seeing this record too, and like he's dope. I'm definitely keeping up with
How,
him more and more.
how did you connect with Headie One? Was that through social media?
Yeah, like he just reached out. He was like, "Yo, like I could hear you on a fire hook," and like I was just like,
Ooh.
"Yeah,
So
yeah,
Ryan Trey and Headie One expected then, yeah?
yeah, he's dope. I definitely we gotta chop it up some more, but because I know we both been busy, but I'm gonna definitely reach back out to him too, make
Uh,
sure. Yeah, I know he's probably live right now
yeah.
because of the
Oh, listen, the amount of attention he must have got like in the past 2 days must be nuts. Especially
yeah,
like with if Drake is on the feature, well, there you go. Blow up, there you go.
Drake's great. He's dope.
It's crazy, man. So what's next for you? I mean, normally I would say like what's the second half looking like for you, but obviously things are still a little bit shaky with COVID and not being able to travel as freely as you want to. But I would assume firstly that you had plans to come over to our side in London and do some
Yeah,
promo, do some bits over here.
yeah, that's the priority is getting out to you guys. I think it's just playing it by ear. I think the main thing outside of me wrapping up my project is just seeing how we're gonna do these shows.
Mm,
When are they gonna be actual shows, and then how long will they be virtual? And
mm,
then just figuring out when to get out there, what's gonna open up. We're just watching and then trying to be safe in the
mm.
process.
Yeah, and are we talking more singles, EPs,
Yeah,
album?
yeah,
What's
yeah.
the
I
what's the
got I
mode,
got
man?
another I got another Rollins the focus right now, but I
Yep.
got another record dropping real soon, and I love this record.
All
It's
right.
dope. Yeah.
So what's the vibe? Is it another form of experimental vibes that you're going with, like the signature dish?
Yeah, it's definitely got a bounce to it. It's hard. It
Yeah.
got a bounce to it. It's for the girls, but like it got a bounce.
Oh,
And I got
okay.
like, I got some rap records I'm following up with just to show that balance. Then we'll just put the project out. Let
Okay,
it
so
run.
it's like some for the ladies, some for the man them, balance
Yeah,
out. You
yeah.
know the ones there. Before I let you go, anyway, I'm a bit of a Twitter stalker when it comes to artists.
Hmm.
So I've seen a lot of tweets that you put out, and I just wanted to get a little bit of elaboration with what you mean, and just have a little bit of fun, and just get your perspective of what you mean by the tweet.
Of course.
All right, cool. So the first one is, thank you, Bryson Tiller, for showing me the world of cereal.
Yeah. So when I first got out to Europe, when he was on the Set It Off tour, I went out there just to watch him perform. The first place we went, we always every city was a cereal bar. Like I've never seen them in the U.S., but I know out there in Europe, there's these cereal bars with like cereals from the '90s, like that we grew up on, like just all different types of things. And like I wasn't really a big breakfast guy until like I started going out there, and he showed me the whole cereal world. It's a world of cereal. It's crazy.
So
So
what's your favorite cereal now? Now that he's put you onto that.
there's this green version of like Lucky Charms,
Oh
and then
shit. Okay.
I haven't seen it since. And then there's this like Christmas version of Lucky Charms. Oh, Lucky Charms
Damn.
probably one of my favorite cereals, but there's like 20 different versions I've never
Versions
heard
of
of.
it. Oh my gosh, so it must be a limited edition. When you come over here, there's one in an area called Brick Lane, and it's near. It's like central East London, but it's
Right.
like you got like brick. You got the market that goes along it, and then on the shops on the right, there's actual cereal shop as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you
Okay,
you'll
cool.
you'll enjoy that there if you definitely like cereal
Alright.
now.
Yeah.
Next one is, it's about who stays, not who promised.
Yeah, I think that's just as far as like, promises are just empty words followed
Mm,
by actions. That's something I realized. Even with myself, I made promises that I didn't follow up on. And
mm.
I'm just learning not to. It was something I realized the other day, like, man, I really gotta stop like trusting people's word and just see how they
Mm.
actually go about things. So yeah, that's all that was about.
Okay. Next one is, God removes people from your life because he heard conversations you didn't hear.
Yeah, me personally,
Interesting, bro.
yeah, I'm a firm believer in God, and I just feel like I have questions all the time, like how come this person isn't in my life anymore? This girl, certain situations didn't happen. And I just think because there was probably conversations on the other side of the situation that I didn't hear, and
Mm.
he probably heard, and it's like that's probably why things are aligned the way they are now. So yeah,
Yeah, because it's kind of like what where I had my ex girlfriend, and then people telling me
yeah,
that she actually cheated on me whilst I was with her, and I didn't know it till afterwards.
you know what I'm
So,
saying?
so
You
it
know,
kind of was like God was saying, "Remove it. She's gone. Let her go."
yeah,
Final one. Don't be with someone trying to make themselves happy. They gotta want to make y'all happy.
yeah. That's just like as far as you can't be in a relationship and be strictly focused on yourself or just
Mm,
one person in general. Like I can't be in a relationship solely focused on making a girl happy. It's
mm,
got to be both. I make myself happy too. Like it's just like that balance.
yeah.
That's really what. All these tweets come from like songs
Yeah,
that I've
because I
done. Yeah,
swear, because a lot of them are very, very deep and meaningful. So I'm assuming, like,
yeah,
through the process, what you were saying earlier about, you're bringing yourself out in the tracks, and obviously
yeah,
these tweets are kind of like a reflection of maybe what you've put out there or what you're about to put out there, essentially.
yeah. Exactly.
I hear
Right.
you. I hear you, man. Well, Ryan, my brother, my brother
Yeah,
out in America
literally.
now.
Yeah,
It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. I know how busy you are. So I know you got more famous shit to do, so I ain't gonna hold you up much longer. If
yeah.
you can tell our audience where they can catch you on all the socials, the floor is yours, my man.
Cool. Rollin's out now. You can catch me on all the socials. Everything across the board is Ryan Trey. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, you name it. It's all Ryan Trey. Yeah.
Cool, cool. Make sure you check this guy out, because he is the Trey that will give you all of Ryan.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
See what I did there? See what I did there?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
that
yeah.
was some whack
That
bar.
was cool. Yeah. No, that was dope.
You should put that as the next tweet, then I know where it's come from. So the tray, that will be full of Ryans.
Man, I gotta think about that
All
one for sure.
right, cool. So yeah. That's all good, man. You on a high note. This is
Yeah,
Jay Billz, Media Spotlight UK with Ryan Trey. He's rolling out here. Make sure you
yeah,
check him out. Soon to be dominating further, and we out of here. Peace.
of course. Peace.
Cool.